Good afternoon and good evening, whatever time, wherever you are in the U.S. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight for a virtual cruise with AMAWaterways. One of our preferred, they are truly our preferred river cruise line in Europe and even now in South America. So I just wanted to take this time to introduce you to river cruising in Europe and different parts around the world, and introduce you to Deborah, who is our direct contact with AMAWaterways, who honestly gives me so much energy when I talk to her and when we do these training presentations. And now I know she's going to do the very same thing tonight when she introduces us to river cruising with AMAWaterways. So at this point, I am going to say welcome, Deborah. Welcome, everyone. And the floor is now yours to tell us all about AMAWaterways.
Wonderful. Thank you, Danny. What a great introduction. I don't know if I can live up to that. I'll have to try my best here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Danny, can you see my screen okay?
Well, yes, we are good to go.
Wonderful. All right, perfect. Well, again, what a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, Danny. I am humbled. But I would like to say thank you to you, all that are joining us today. Thank you for your time and thank you for your interest in AMAWaterways and river cruising. We are very happy that you're here with Nationwide Cruises and Vacations. And Danny, he would love to help you book that next river cruise. So reach out at the end of this presentation. He'd be happy to help you. So my name is Deborah Robinson, and I am the Business Development Manager for AMAWaterways for Central and North Florida. You can see on these photos me really having a great time on excursions while river cruising. I love to travel, been in travel for a very long time, so it is a passion for me as well. And I like to say that oceans take you to the countries, but it's truly rivers that take you through them. And this photo is just a perfect representation of river cruising. You can see the magic of the castle up on the hill, the river ship down below, and the beautiful foliage that's turning. The leaves are, turning in the fall. So it's not always summertime that you river cruise. If you're from Florida like I am, you never get to see the leaves changing. So it's really, really nice to go somewhere different in the fall even. And this is the Rhine River. So it's an absolute beautiful, majestic picture of river cruising. The owners of our company, Rudy Schreiner, Christine Karst, and Gary Murphy, are all very familiar with travel. They've been in the industry for many, many years. AMAWaterways is celebrating our 22nd year in business. And Rudy is known as the godfather of river cruising. He and Christine met a very long time ago, fell in love, and decided to start their own river cruise company, one that they would be proud to have their friends and family travel on. They decided to call it AMA. AMA in Latin means love. So their AMAWaterways was born. Both of them grew up on the Danube, so they're very, very loyal to that area and love to bring local talent aboard our ships. It's an interesting combination that they are a married couple, but they both have their own individualities that they bring to our company. And then Gary Murphy is also no stranger to travel. His family started Brendan Tours. If you've ever traveled to Ireland or Scotland, you might be familiar with that company. And he, I guess I like to joke and say, like any good son, he didn't want to go into the family business, so he came to AMAWaterways, and they really are a great team to work for. The fact that it's still family owned and operated is wonderful. They really step up to the plate to help out our clients when need be. So I'd like to play this video. This is Christine talking through the video. It kind of gives you a sense of her, but she's also going to talk a lot about the details of river cruising. So if you haven't river cruised before, pay attention. This is a great video.
We grew up on the rivers in Europe. Rudi, our president, was born in Vienna on the Danube River, and I was born in Dresden on the Elbe River. And we couldn't be more excited to come back to the rivers to show our European heritage. I'm Christine Karst, co-founder and co-owner of AMAWaterways. Our ships are very intimate and accommodate an average of about 150 guests on board. Yet we offer the luxury of space. We offer twin balcony staterooms, that's our signature. One outside balcony and our French balcony to really give our guests a very, very comfortable stateroom. And once the ship starts sailing, it's calm waters all the way. You can see so much when you step on board from grand capitals of Europe, quaint villages. We are going through multiple countries and you physically double your leisure time. We take care of everything. Food and wine is extremely important for us. We are very proud of our multiple dining venue, from our main restaurant to our chef's table, where we serve a very special tasting menu, to some dining venues on our sun deck. Best of all, our sommeliers have hand-selected the finest local wines that we include with our compliments for lunch and dinner, as well as served during our complimentary sip and sail hour. Personalization is so important for our guests, and we are very proud to include in every port multiple shore excursions. This could be gentle walking tours, active hiking and biking tours, tours for our late risers, and special theme tours. I'm personally very passionate about wellness. We offer daily wellness activities starting with core and stretching in the morning, yoga on the sun deck, spinning with a view, to dance classes. The best part of our river cruise experience and why so many guests are returning year after year is our crew. They are so passionate, so warm-hearted. Our crew and cruise managers always go above and beyond to make sure you have the most magical and memorable river cruise experience. We look forward to welcoming you on board our ships very soon.
I absolutely love that video for the food alone. I'll talk more about the food in a few minutes, but isn't that lovely? I mean, you absolutely are spoiled when it comes to the food on board. This is a map of all the locations, all the rivers that we sail. So you can see we're in South America now. In Colombia, we'll be starting there in January. And then in Asia, Cambodia and Vietnam on the Mekong, as well as Africa on the Chobe. We are in Egypt on the Nile, Portugal on the Douro, and of course the Rhine, the Rhone, the Seine, the Saône, the entire length of the Danube, the upper and the lower. So many, many beautiful locations for you to sail. But we truly are leading the way in river cruising, and we've been in business over 22 years now. And one of the favorite things of our owner is innovation. Rudi loves innovation. He loves firsts, and he loves thinking outside the box, from designing our ships to really highlighting things that no one else in river cruising has. And pictured here on this screen is the Alma Magna. Now, if you had a regular long ship beside her, you'd be able to see that she is twice the width of any other river ship for any other company. So she's one of a kind. No other river cruise company but AMAWaterways has a ship this size, and she is exclusively on the Danube. But you ask, why AMAWaterways? So I would like to point out some of the differences that make us stand apart from some of the other river cruise lines. And I did, of course, mention the Ama Magna. She is, of course, the biggest difference of any river ship for any company. But there's more. Other innovative things that we have brought to river cruising are our twin balcony rooms. And I'm going to show you a little bit better picture in just a moment. We have wellness on board all of our ships, where you can do anything from doing a biking tour to an actual yoga class, a wellness class, all different types of wellness program that we offer on board and off the ship. We also are known for our sustainability and the green awards that our ships have won, and we're very proud of that. And then, of course, there is the pickleball court that's aboard the Ama Magna. She is fully equipped with a legal sized pickleball court. We have all of the rackets and everything that you need to play. You just need to make a reservation once on board, and it's all included. There's no charge to play on board. And pickleball, of course, needing the size. So the only pickleball court that we do have is on the Ama Magna. The other ships are not quite large enough to accommodate that. So it's a special feature that the Ama Magna has for sure. So here's a look at our interior spaces on our ships. The top two photos are the Ama Magna, and I stayed in this room on the left, top left, back in April on the Ama Magna, and it's absolutely a beautiful room. This is a 355 square foot balcony room, and it is absolutely exquisite. You can see, once you walk past the bed out to the balcony, you can see the picture to the right with a couple standing outside. That's the balcony space. So it's a traditional outdoor balcony. But what you can't see in the first photo is, if you were to turn around, you would see double glass doors that lead into your bathroom suite with dual vanities and a standalone shower and marble finishes and a separate toilet area. It is an absolute amazing balcony room. And then below, you can see our twin balcony. So you can see the traditional French balcony to the right, where the doors are floor to ceiling and they open, but you can't actually step out. You can look out, you can get fresh air in the room. And then the balcony to the left is a traditional balcony. So this balcony, you can absolutely step out, sit down in the two chairs, have a glass of wine, and enjoy the river as you sail by. But you ask, why two balconies? Look at that view. I mean, it is a beautiful panoramic view from the inside that really brings the outside in. So it's an exceptional view, and it really, really adds to the overall experience on board. And just envision, you see it during the day, but at nighttime, why is this a nice feature? Well, if you close the curtains, the space to the right, you see the chair and the little table, that's added square footage to the room. So if that entire space was an outdoor balcony in the nighttime, that would all be closed off. It would not be added square foot to the room. So as we know, the cabins on board most ships, square footage is a premium space. So we try to make the rooms as large as possible, but giving you the most benefit. So a little bit of our claim to fame is fewer people on board and larger rooms. So our competitors, on average, their long ships have about 190 to 194 on board, and ours have 150 to 160 on board. So quite a few less people, which makes for a more intimate, lovely space for you to enjoy without being crowded. We really strive to make our sailings fewer people, larger rooms. And it doesn't get any finer than on the Ama Magna, the top room. That is just my favorite, absolute favorite room. And then the picture to the right on the bottom, that's the same twin balcony room. It's just showing you that the wall retracts for the possibility of a family suite or connecting those two rooms. So I mentioned on the AMAWaterways, it's bigger, it's twice the space, but it doesn't have twice the people. So I mentioned that our competitors have between 190 and 194 on their regular long ships. But on the AMAWaterways, it's twice the size of a long ship, and it still only has 196 aboard. So what did we do with all that space? Well, we have 4 specialty restaurants on the AMAWaterways, and it's all included. There is no upcharge to dine. You have the alfresco dining, Jimmy's restaurant and bar, the main dining room, as well as the chef's table. And as I mentioned after seeing the video, the food is spectacular. It is award-winning, artfully plated culinary delights. You will come home so spoiled. And after all, it's a vacation. You're supposed to spoil yourself. But every time I come back, I'm like, I have to cook. I have to go to the grocery store. You're just so used to having this amazing food prepared for you. And part of the reason it's so amazing, this is a order from menu, chef prepared, and it is never frozen. So if you have chicken or steak for your entree, it's been brought aboard fresh. We do not freeze our ingredients. And all of our breads are baked fresh on board as well. So it's a really beautiful dining experience that the food matches the atmosphere for sure. Also, we have multiple dining on board all of our ships, not just the AMAWaterways. If you are on a traditional long ship, that's the regular size, like every other river cruise company, we all have the same length ship, but how many rooms are on board and what is on board is all different. So I'd like to point out that even on our long ships, we have the chef's table. This is a beautiful experience where you can see over to the right, the chef's preparing the meal. So you actually get to watch how they prepare it. And then the wait staff brings it to your table and explains everything in depth. It's paired with wines, and it's usually a 6 to 7 course small plated meal. It's absolutely amazing. So again, there's no upcharge for this. You just need to make a reservation once on board. Well, we all like our cocktails, and we don't have a drink package. We have all of our beverages during the sip and sail hour. We have a menu that has all of the cocktails. Whether you want a lemon drop, a dirty martini, or scotch on the rocks, it's included. We also have beer and wine for lunch and dinner. That's also included, as well as sodas, specialty coffees, really just about almost anything you can imagine. So it's a really nice feature that the cocktails are 1 hour before dinner, and that's all included. We also have included shore excursions, where some of the other river cruise companies only give you one a day that's included. Ours are all included. And not only are they included, you have choices. So you can do walking tours, there's biking tours, hiking, there is culinary, immersion tours. Just about everything you can think of. I went truffle hunting in France. It was amazing. But even if you don't see anything in that you want and you want to sleep in, we have late riser tours. So it gives you many, many options. So we want the experience to be what you envision. So we give you multiple choices as how you can accomplish seeing the destinations you're sailing in. And not only that, we have different levels. So we have gentle, regular, and active tours. So maybe if your mobility is not quite what it used to be and you need to do a gentle, you can do the gentle walking tour. But if you are in peak shape and you want to hike 5 miles up to the castle, there's active, very active, as well as the biking tours. So you really can experience the destination how you choose. I mentioned that we have a wellness program, and this is a dedicated wellness host that is certified to ensure that you have the best possible enhanced physical, expression with classes, while you have your stay on the river. I know the yoga classes are very, very popular, and it's all done up on the sun deck when the weather is good, and indoors in the lounge if it's not. But we have them on every ship, and they are really, really popular. We also have entertainment in the evenings where they come aboard the ship from the areas that you're sailing. This is usually a cultural experience. They're dressed in the cultural garb of where you're sailing, and it's usually song and dance, and it's quite exceptional. It's definitely something you don't want to miss. And then, of course, excuse me, there's our cruise managers, which stay with you the entire journey. So the reason that makes it an important feature is if you were to do the pre or the post, the cruise manager's with you the entire way. So I think most people nowadays, if they're going to Europe, say for instance, and they're going to travel that 8 or 9 hour flight to get there, most people are wanting to stay more than just a week. So the pre and the post allow you to add land packages to your cruise to extend your stay to upwards of 2 weeks. And in the pre and the post, ours is not just a hotel stay, it's a full land package. So you're guaranteed a 4 to 5 star hotel, and that's near major city centers. You have breakfast in that hotel every day, and then you have city tours that are led by knowledgeable guides. They really are fantastic. They are very, very knowledgeable about the areas that you're traveling. And then, of course, the transfers, if you do the pre or the post, are also included between your hotel and the river ship. And I already mentioned that you have your extraordinary service of the cruise managers, but I like to mention that, they're really more than a cruise manager. I like to say they're your personal concierge. So they really are there for you if you have any issues, if you need something, if something goes wrong, or, if you just need help with a reservation or whatever it may be, they're there to assist you. So this is one of our cruise managers, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about what he does.
If you've already booked your cruise with AMAWaterways in a destination far from home, then why not extend your stay by booking one of our pre- or post-cruise land packages? Add bonus time in a fascinating city along the river, such as Budapest, Amsterdam or Paris, or venture to another city or country beyond the riverbanks, from Lake Como, Italy, to Spain's Basque Country, to Ha Long Bay, Vietnam, or even Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Each land package includes overnight accommodations at a world-class 4 or 5 star hotel, as well as daily breakfast, guided excursions, and convenient transfers and luggage service between your hotel and the river cruise ship. Plus, you'll be taken care of by one of AMAWaterways cruise managers like me throughout your river cruise and land journey. Reserve a pre-cruise land package before your river cruise embarks to rest and recover from your international flights, or pamper yourself before returning home on one of our post-cruise packages. Either way, we encourage you to make the most of your long-awaited vacation with AMAWaterways. Join us and stay a while. Just contact your travel advisor to book your pre- or post-cruise land package.
You can see some beautiful destinations for the pre and the post. So absolutely, if you're booking your river cruise, make sure you take a look at the pre and the post. That we go to some amazing places. And one of the video, it showed Jordan. And so I always like to mention that if you're thinking about going to Egypt, I know a lot of people are worried. Obviously, we're not going into Israel right now, but we are going into Jordan, and it's been very well received. Our guests are loving it. So it's absolutely, we are still sailing, having no issues whatsoever. So if you're thinking about it, you should absolutely go. I would go tomorrow if they ask me. I also like to point out that we have complimentary internet on board. Not only do we have internet, we have the entertainment as well. So in the evenings, if you want to wind down by watching a movie, we have a huge selection that you can choose from, and all of that is included. So you can absolutely keep up with friends and family that are at home, or send pictures, postcards. But you can absolutely stay in touch because the internet is all included. So as I mentioned before, we're in all of Europe's storied rivers. We're in Africa, we're in Asia on the Mekong, and Egypt on the Nile, but we're in January going into Colombia. And we are really excited about Colombia. This is a first. We are the first river cruise company to go into Colombia. There are no other river cruise there. So it's also a really quick hop. I mentioned I was here in Florida. It's just a couple hour flight and you're there. So if you maybe can't do the 9-hour flight to Europe anymore, maybe think about Colombia. That, you know, you're a couple hours, you're in the air, you're there, and you're in a floating boutique hotel with a 5-star restaurant attached. So it's an absolutely an amazing destination. I think it's going to be really, really popular. Colombia is known, of course, for its beautiful architecture, its food, its wildlife, and especially the bird life, and of course the Carnival experience. Absolutely beautiful. And the 2 itineraries that we are going to have are the 7-night Cartagena to Barranquilla. That is the wonder of Colombia. And then the reverse, the magic of Colombia, Barranquilla to Cartagena. And here's what it looks like on the map. And I'd like to point out, bolded in navy is Panama City. And you can see that Cartagena starts as well as Barranquilla. But Panama City is where the pre is going to be, in Panama City as well as Cartagena, and then Medellin down below where the Colombia is in navy, that's going to be the post. So it's I've heard Medellin is absolutely beautiful. And I would like to say I apologize. I speak one language and that's Southern. So those of you that speak the language better than I apologize. I'll do the best I can. But as you can see, it starts in Cartagena. Sails down to Palenque, and then of course down around to Banco, Mompox, Santa Barbara de Pinto, and then up to Barranquilla. And whether you start or finish in Barranquilla, there's going to be a carnival celebration for every sailing. And that's an exclusive, like we have Oktoberfest in Wilhelmshaven on the Danube for those guests. We also are going to have a carnival experience for our guests on AMAWaterways as an exclusive feature for you. So we're really excited about that. These are going to have, we're going to have 2 ships on the Magdalena River, and they're never going to see each other at the same time. So you won't be passing, and you'll be the only river ships on the river. So it's going to be a very exclusive and private sailing. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to go myself. Here's a rendering of the Ama Magdalena. This is what the ship will look like when it's finished. You can see there's one feature that's very different from some of the other river ships, and that is if you look at the hull, normally you would see fixed windows. There's no fixed windows on this ship. There's only twin balconies. So we're really excited about that. And you can see it's a very small ship. And if you don't know, the way a river ship size is determined is the bends in the river. So it's not like we say, well, we'd like a bigger ship or we like a small ship. It's the river that determines the size of the ship. So this is a very intimate ship. You can see all of the rooms are twin balconies. The square footage starts at 237. It goes up to 516. You can see the color-coded categories over to the right. There's also a pool on board. We have a water feature on all of our ships, whether it's a pool and a hot tub or just a hot tub. And most destinations, they're all heated. I don't think we're going to need it heated in Colombia, but if you did, it's a possibility for sure. But if you're sailing in the fall, like I like to do, all of the pools are heated. So no matter where you are in the world, you can still enjoy the pool. You can see that this ship has 30 staterooms, so it's a capacity of 60 passengers with 30 crew members. I'd also like to point out our golf program. You know, we have Christmas market, cruises, we have wine cruises, we have the soulful experience, we even have a music celebration cruise now. But I don't think very many people know about our golf program. So if you are sailing on the Danube, the upper Danube, you can, if you're a golfer, you can add 4 or 5 rounds of golf to that upper Danube. And this is a concierge golf program that's a championship European, I think it's 5 different countries, and it's courses you couldn't just walk on and play. These are exclusive championship courses. So it's a really wonderful program that they handle all the details for you. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you reach out to your travel agent. And for that itinerary on the Danube, we can absolutely add that to the package. And say the husband plays golf and the wife doesn't, she can still do all the excursions. So they can do their own thing, or maybe there's 2 couples, maybe the women play golf and the men don't, and they want to go on excursions. You can absolutely still do that. So it creates another aspect of how you can really design your river cruise to be your personal experience and vacation. So let's talk a little bit about groups and promotions and incentives. So I used to only show this slide to travel agents, but I've started showing it to consumers because we're all traveling more and more people are traveling in groups. So if you do a family reunion, or maybe it's a couples retreat or a girls retreat, if you have 5 cabins, that is a group. 5 cabins, double occupancy, and you get $250 off for a 7-night sailing. $500 off per person for 10, 11, or 14-night sailing. So your travel agent would love you if you came and said, hey, I have a group of 5 people. We all want to go river cruising. So just keep that in mind if you ever do have a group or want to, have that girls trip. Right now, we have a promotion that is saving up to 20%. On 24 and 25 river cruises. It's select cruises, and this is all good through September 20th. So make sure that you reach out to Danny and his team, and they'd be happy to help you get that river cruise booked. If you book your river cruise, keep in mind we also have air department, and we have our Air Plus, and this gives you economy air for 24 and 25 sailings for $8.99. Now, I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since I've seen $8.99 for airfare to Europe, but that's the promotion. So it's a really great savings. We have economy air in 2026 is going up a little bit. It's going to be $9.99. Premium economy is $22.99, and then business class is $42.99. So it's a great deal. So if we do your air as well, your transfers from the airport to the hotel or the airport to the ship are included also. So that's another good reason to let AMA help you out with your air. We also have a promotion called the Holiday Triple Savings, and this is for 7, 10, and 11-night cruises. You get $1,000 off cruise fare per person, with a complimentary stateroom upgrade and $50 onboard credit per person. And this is for sailings or river cruises for 25 and 26. We also have a 14-night cruise where you can get as much as $2,000 off per person for the cruise fare with a complimentary stateroom upgrade, as well as $100 onboard credit per person. This is also good through September 30th as well. We have our summer triple savings, and if you are sailing in July or August in 2024, 5, or 26, you can absolutely I think I got my slides mixed up. Let me go back. Yep, I did. Sorry about that. The summer triple savings is also a really great promotion for July and August. So please check that out. It's through to September 30th as well. We have solo traveler specials, and this is 10% reduced single supplement on 2024 Europe river cruises. There are some also that are waived single supplements, and this is on select 2024 Europe river cruises, or there's single occupancy staterooms in France. So if you book a single room, then there's no single supplement whatsoever. So if you are a single traveler, we do have some great specials for you. So absolutely check those out as well. Then if you're a former military or active military, we offer a $250 per active or retired military service member for our river cruises. And you can alternatively do a 2-for-1 cruise fare on select 2024 river cruises as well, or a 10% single supplement for solo travelers on select 2024 river cruises. And so we like to say thank you to our military personnel. So we just revamped our military offer, and it's a little bit more attractive. I like that, that we are giving more back. Once you book your cruise, you know, everybody has an app nowadays. This is our My AMACruise app. The main thing you need to know is it's very, very simple. It just has a few tabs, but your electronic travel documents, this is where they're located. So if you are traveling and you need an emergency phone number, you can absolutely find it here. If you need the address to the dock where the ship is, it's all included. So this is where you would find it. We all have our cell phone with us these days. So it makes it really, really easy. So one last video to kind of tease you, and then I'm going to open it up to questions. Wonderful. All right. So that concludes my presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing. And Danny, I don't know, maybe if you have any questions or there's anyone online that has questions, but I'm happy to try and answer them for you.
Absolutely. And I always have questions, and I always have something to say because I think I talk a lot. So I always have questions. And
Great. That's fine.
And I have to say, this is the second time that you and I have done a presentation together. And the first one was, of course, for our team here at Nationwide Cruises, giving us all the training that you could. And I know we're going to have a lot more. And the one thing you said, you know, I think the one thing that we have in common is our love for travel. And we're both Southern. So I think that is...
Yeah, I know. I butchered the South American names. You know, I have to give that disclaimer every time because I only speak Southern. I just don't, you know, I don't speak any other languages, but I try.
Exactly, I do too. It just doesn't work. But no, this was great. It was very informative. You know, I love that this is truly a foodie's cruise.
It is,
especially with the chef's table. That there's no cost for that. Is that correct? Once again,
no, it's all included. And let me tell you, I'm definitely a foodie, and I make a Pinot Noir at home. I love wine, I love food, and it just doesn't get any better. You come home so spoiled. The food is award-winning, chef prepared. It is artfully plated, so it's beautiful to look at. So you really do taste it with your eyes before you ever taste it with your palate. You cannot go wrong with the food. It is amazing.
and then it's brought on board at many of the ports. Is that
It is.
correct?
It's
Yeah.
brought aboard fresh. We do not freeze any of our food. So if you have chicken or steak, that's been brought aboard fresh. We don't freeze it. So it's that day. So anytime we're at port, you'll see supplies going back and forth because we are committed to having that fresh ingredients for our guests.
That's
And
awesome.
also on the food, if you have a guest that has an allergy, like I'm allergic to shrimp, so when you make the reservation, make sure that you add that in the reservation and they will address all of that. So if they're a vegetarian or if they have a gluten allergy, whatever the situation may be, make sure that you bring that up in the reservation when you're making the deposit so they can include that in your guest profile and make sure that all of that is handled correctly.
True. That's very true. Yes, that's a good point, which we do anyway. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. And then, of course, the pre and post. Even if a customer does not do a post, extension and at the end of the cruise, I just cannot say how important that it is to do a pre-cruise tour in the city, and not only because you get to experience where you are a little bit more, and you have the host that's there with you, of course, but it's going to avoid for hopefully if there are some flight delays, which let's just be
Absolutely.
honest, the airlines they sometimes they've got a lot of work to do, and by getting
Right.
there early, I cannot tell you how
Well,
important
and
that is.
if your guest booked their air through us, our air department is open 24/7 now they're there to help and handle any issues that, people may have. So that's why I point out on the app that all of those emergency numbers are in your documents and they're easily accessed because if you do the pre, which I also highly recommend because it just warns off any bobble. If you have a delay, if your flight is canceled and you're coming in later or earlier, you have the ability to have a little leeway. You're not going to miss part of the cruise and have to catch it in the next city. You're just going to miss a little bit of time at the hotel. So that's really important for people that haven't river cruised before. They might not know what a pre or post really is and how it can help you. And for the pre, it absolutely, it's something I always do when I travel. I'm doing a FAM next week and I'm doing the pre just for that reason, because you never know. You never know when things might get delayed, and it gives you that cushion.
That's right. Yeah, it's so important. And then of course, I'm always making notes when I'm doing these virtual cruises or virtual travel nights for our customers. So none of these are prescriptive between Deborah and I. So just so you know that. Um,
Nope.
they're not. I don't do it. I go on the cuff. I'm making notes while she was doing the presentation tonight. And the one thing I love the point about fewer people and larger rooms
Mhm.
on your ships. I think that
Right.
is so
Well,
important.
and that is on all of our ships. So our competitors on average have on the regular long ships around 190 to 194, where we have between 150 and 160. That's a huge difference, and you really feel it on board. So the fewer people means a more intimate experience. It's a more tailored experience. And the other thing I'd like to point out that I didn't mention in the presentation is about our excursions. They really operate more like a small group tour. They don't fill up. So unlike ocean, for instance, where if you haven't chosen your excursion 6 months out, you're not getting anything good. River for us is not like that. You can choose your excursions when you do your online check-in, or you can wait till you get on board. They will not fill up. You can wait till you hear the cruise manager's explanation of all of the cruise excursions and then make your choices. If you are at dinner and the couple that you're with, what they're doing the next day sounds way better than what you chose, you can just go to the front desk and say, hey, I've changed my mind. I'd like to do this instead. They're happy to do that for you. So that's very different than other river cruise companies too, that have a limit and have 50 people on a bus. We just don't do that. That's not our business model. So we have an exclusive excursion to where it feels more like a small group tour, and you don't have to worry about them filling up. So that's a very important thing to point out to guests. Most people don't realize that. And some of our competitors only give you one a day, and then they charge you an upcharge if you want to do an additional tour in the afternoon. And that can be anywhere, from $199 to $299. If you do that per person every day to the end of the cruise, you've got a huge bill, and it leaves people feeling nickeled and dimed. We absolutely do not do that. The only thing your guest will have to pay above what they've paid for their cruise fare is going to be the gratuities. That's it. And that usually runs on our long ships around $120 per person. And that is it. I used to say all I pay is my gratuities and the trinkets that I bring back home. That's it.
That is such a good point, and I know I've heard that before about the shore excursions, about how you really you don't have to worry about it. So thanks for for bringing that out. And then you're talking about the gratuities, which are additional, and of course those can really be prepaid too. Am I correct? Before you
Correct. You can't, yes, you can prepay them, and then you don't have to even worry about it at all.
Right.
So that's always a good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And the thing I want to say about the gratuities is I don't know the exact number of cruises that we have with AMAWaterways, where we are giving you about $150 onboard credit. So that's coming from us, and you can apply that to your gratuities.
You can, yes.
So
any onboard credit can be used for gratuities as well. So you absolutely can.
yeah, and not every travel agency has that offer.
Nope.
So
you have to see Danny.
That's not just me, but you call me, and I'm gonna either
There
work
you
with
go.
you, or I'm probably going to introduce you to one of our travel advisors that can really help you. But that's something to keep in mind with that onboard credit, because we have a lot of dates. AMAWaterways is a very strong partner of ours, so we love giving things away here.
Right. Well, and I am offering a booking special, but Danny will have to tell you what that is. So you'll have to call Danny to get that booking special from him. But please reach out to Nationwide and Danny. They would be happy to help you secure any of your AMAWaterways river cruise needs. You can't go wrong with river cruising. It is unpacking once and experiencing the destination in a way you've probably never seen Europe before, or any of the other destinations as well.
Right. And so a question did come up. I see, I believe it's over on Facebook. Are 2026 itineraries fully available?
They are. 2026 is available for booking now. So just call in, and Danny would be happy to help you with that.
Absolutely. Myself or one of my team, of course.
Absolutely.
And so I've sort of gotten with all of my notes that are all over the place here, and I'll show you here. Well, if you can see it or not. And I do this all the time through the presentations that we do with our virtual cruise nights here. The beverages, I know it's lunch and dinner that it's included, and there are no beverage packages with AMA.
There's not.
Correct? Okay.
It's really not needed. It's the only time I ever say no more wine. I mean,
Right.
your glass will never be empty. I mean, it's really not necessary at all.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, can our guests, if they buy wine at the port, are they able to bring it back on board and enjoy it on the ship?
Absolutely.
Correct?
Absolutely. They can bring it back on board, and we'll even uncork it for you. Happy to have you experience the local wines as well.
I love that. And of course, my big takeaway, I love the river cruises in Europe and the other destinations, but that AMA is now going to be the only cruise line that's going to be in South America. I
I'm
love
super
this.
excited. Yes,
Yeah.
Colombia is going to be fantastic, and it's so close to home. It's just a quick plane ride, and there's nothing else like that in Colombia. The Colombia government, as well as the people, they are so excited that AMAWaterways is there to offer this luxury river cruising because there's been nothing like it before. So we've worked really hard. We're forging the docks, and the ships are built. They're being decorated. They're probably finished by now, but it's just going to be an experience that's adding to our portfolio that's very different from Europe,
Hmm.
because this is going to be you can have a nature lover experience, a very laid back, quiet cruise, or you can do the city life, when you go into all the cities, or you can do a little of both. So it has a lot to offer for people that want both. And I'm really excited that you're not going to see other river ships. We'll be the only ones on the river. So it's going to be a lot like maybe being on the Mekong, where you have a more authentic river experience in a way that you can't get in Europe because it's so trafficked. So I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I just had several people come back from Europe, and I told them about this cruise. So we're working on a group doing the Colombia cruise. So I'll be
Excellent.
getting that out to customers very soon. And of course, when it comes to beverage and cruising, a question that came up, which I think is a good one. Uh, are the bars open even after dinner, and how late are they typically open on the
They
ships?
are. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have our evening entertainment, and so they're open anytime there's entertainment. But even after that, a lot of times we have a piano player that's on board. They set up, a DJ, and they have dancing. So yes, if you wanted a cocktail, you could absolutely get it. And if you were to purchase a cocktail, to give you an example, I had my granddaughter who was on board with me, and she was 19, and in Europe you can drink at 16. She's like, Nana, we're having a cosmopolitan. And I was like, oh no. And so I told the bartender, one, only one. And the next morning I got the bill under the door, and it was $16. And I thought, oh shoot, they forgot. They only charged me for one. And so I went to the front desk and said, hey guys, we had two. You need to charge me for another one. And she said, no, no, they're $8. So the Cosmopolitan was $8 a piece. So they're very, very reasonably priced. It's not like a gouging to be really expensive if you wanted to purchase a drink. So you absolutely can without breaking the bank. So I like to point that out. I was surprised. I don't know where you can have a Cosmopolitan for $8, but you here in the States, but you can on AMAWaterways.
Not many places, that's for sure. Not many
Right.
places. And I
Uh,
know
my
that,
my tip my tip is at dinner, when you finish dinner, have them top your glass of wine off and take it to the lounge with you.
right? Or my tip is just to bring a couple of extra bottles back from your port. And
That works too.
that's my favorite thing to do, especially when I'm in Europe on a river cruise.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
yeah, and I want to mention, you talked about some of the promotions that are out there right now. And I just want to
Mhm.
make sure that our customers and our guests know that promotions change often.
Correct.
So, if you're thinking about it, reach out to us and let us see what promotions are available for your time. And then, of course, please let us know if you're military so you can get that extra savings. I think that's a great, great thing.
Yeah, it
Um,
our discount used to, I believe it used to only be $100 off. So now that it's 250 and there are some other options as well, I think that's more befitting of a discount for our military.
yeah, it's great. It really, really is. So I think we're right on the hour mark. I didn't plan on having so many extra questions for you, so um, I really appreciate this so much, and I hope it gives you a sense of what it's like to really go through the countries, because the rivers do take you through the countries, like I hear so many times from you and others at AMAWaterways, and I just love that so much. So I want to just thank you, Deborah, for doing this tonight, and everybody that is watching us live either on Facebook or YouTube. And of course, if you are on YouTube, do me a favor, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date when we bring you all these travel offers, all the news and travel tips. And now we're doing the virtual cruise night. So make sure you do that. And of course, share this live video with your friends on Facebook. I will, as I always do, include our contact information in the description here on Facebook and on YouTube. That way you can reach out to us, and I can make sure that I can put you in contact with the right travel advisor that can help you with your specific needs for your travel. But otherwise, I am going to say bon voyage. And once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And tomorrow, I will be back at 1 p.m. Eastern time talking about shore excursions with a shore excursions company that we use. I want to give you some tips on all that. So maybe you can join us once again for that. But for now, I hope you guys have a great evening, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.